Welcome to Soto Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. We are at the Oklahoma Bridal Show today, and I am going to show you how I set up my booth. The last video I posted, I showed you how I did the balloon garland for this bridal show. I did it at the entrance of the bridal show, but this is the main area where the bridal show is taking place, and this is my booth. I decided to do a white, champagne, and pink backdrop for this bridal show with some floral arrangements. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. I have my pipe kit right there that I love so much because of several reasons, but I just love the ease of use and the sturdiness of it. I will see if I can find a link for it and have it linked below. But I'm putting my champagne backdrop. It's the heavy duty sequin fabric. Now remember this young lady right there. I'll tell you the story about her here in just a few minutes. But I'm working on that gold sequin, and now I'm putting on my 4-way stretch white fabric. So the gold fabric I ordered in a bulk, and I cut the panels out and sewed the area that you see me thread the pipe through. But that white fabric, I had it already cut and sewn, and they sew on both ends. The pink is also a 4-way stretch, same as the white, but I cut that as well and did the sewing myself. So you can either order your fabric in the rolls, or you can order it where of course you pay extra to get them to cut it and sew it for you. But I like the fact that they sew on both ends, so when you're trying to do this, you are not worried about whichever end you end up on. It's already sewn, so you can just thread it through, and also helps with other drape setups. So right now we are working on making the cover for the pipe. So I forgot my safety pin, so we are finding a way to just use our fingers to fold the fabric in. I'll show you here. Kind of fold the fabric in and then thread the pipe cleaner through, and she grabs the other end, and we're able to tie that piece together. You don't want it too tight because you want it to go around the pole, so you just put that, and it's like a cap over the pole, and we will make adjustments later on. So that sequin fabric looks more gold than it is champagne, but it's just the camera and the lighting in the room. Now what I do is I measure my backdrop, because I want to find the center to make sure that my design is actually even. So I find the center point and I adjust the drapes. When you put the drapes, I think you saw me do that earlier, you just spread them apart so they're nice and even. You don't have a gather of drapes in one place and one other area where it's straight across. The reason they were slightly separated was because I marked where I wanted to put this floral arrangement. I'm using some ribbon and also some zip ties to hold them in place. Another option for this is to use another valance hanger and put a third crossbar and attach your flowers alone to that crossbar. So the crossbar would have just the flowers, and it will be a third layer to your backdrop, and you won't have to worry about trying to figure out, like we did, how to attach the floral arrangement to your drapes, because you can't thread the whatever you're using to hang the pipe and drape, whether it's the zip ties or the ribbon or rope or anything, through your drape. So but this worked out fine. I didn't want to use another crossbar. So I don't know if you recognize these flowers, but these are the flowers I did for my friend's baby shower. I made them myself, and I'll have that tutorial link down below so you can see how I put all of this together. Now for her shower, I used that middle piece on her balloon backdrop, and the other longer piece, the two on the sides and the one I'm going to put on the table, I used that for, it was one piece, one whole piece, and I just broke it apart for this bridal show so I could use it and not worry about making a whole new floral arrangement. And luckily for me, it matched the drapes well and the color scheme worked all well together. So now my story with this young lady, I am setting up, so I thought this my booth by myself. Oh, before I continue, that's one of the reasons I love the pipe and drape kit, because you can extend it. She didn't know that, without standing on a ladder, because it's edged where it has markings for every foot you go up. So the lowest, it's 6 foot. As you're going up, you'll see a 7 foot, and this is raised up to an 8 foot. What I'm doing now is adjusting the sequin fabric, the champagne sequin fabric in the back, just to make sure it's all even and tucked in towards the back, and she helped me do that. Now I'm just going to work on all my draping and all my I forgot the word right now, but I'm just working on gathering up all the fabric to make all my my design. So I'm using pipe cleaners to do that. We are getting our stuff out of the way. We were kind of spread out because I came very early, because I was thinking I would be doing this by myself. So some other vendors are coming. You see my neighbor there, she's also a decorator, and she's setting up her booth as well. I'll be chit-chatting with her soon as I design my pieces too. So what I was saying about her is, I rushed to get here as soon as the doors opened. I was the first vendor there. The organizer for the event wasn't even there, but I knew that I was working by myself, so I had to come early enough to give myself time to have everything set up, because I also wanted to add flowers to the balloons this day. So when I got there, as I was setting up my loading up my cart to bring everything from the van, this young lady saw me outside and she was asking where the bridal show was. So I was trying to give her directions on how to get to this room, and she said, well, why don't I help you, and then we'll just go up together. She was here to volunteer. So I thought that was very sweet. I just thought she would help me carry my stuff up. But because the owner of the event, that's him going by there in that scooter, the owner of the event wasn't there at the time, she helped me make 2 trips back and forth. She carried some stuff. We pushed the cart and got all my things up. But not only that, you saw how she helped me pretty much set up my whole backdrop up until this point when the owner came. And when the owner even came, the owner said, oh, why don't you finish helping her and then you come find me? And at this point, I had everything hung. I just needed to do the swags, is the word I was looking for earlier, for my drapes. So that worked out perfectly. When I was coming, I packed my stuff so I would get ready, because I thought I wouldn't have time by myself to do everything. But I had enough time to go home and get ready at home, which was such a blessing. And I was able to bring my older daughter, you saw in the thumbnail, back with me to help me talk to all the brides who came through. But you saw my other, if you didn't, I'll link that video too. If you didn't see the bridal show I did before, my husband was there and one of our friends was helping me, and they drove the big truck to come set up, and we did the balloons and the booth setup all on the same day. So this time around, I was thinking I was by myself, but that's the thing. Sometimes God would provide for you in ways you're not able to explain. And this just completely blew my mind. And I was so thankful to her. She was just that perfect angel that God sent to help me get through this day. I'm tying this not perfectly because I got interrupted. And so later on, when I come back with my daughter, I fix that bow. You see it in the pictures. I made some adjustments, but I had to quickly move the cart so someone else could use it. So that's the story behind that angel. I'm so thankful. Sometimes you just remain thankful and surrender whatever situation you're in, not stress about it. Just go with the flow and you'll see how God would provide for you miraculously. If this is your first time watching, please consider subscribing. If you want a more detailed tutorial on how I do these drapes, please let me know. I was just showing you how I set up my booth, but it'll take more help for me to actually record how I do the swags and how I tie everything together. But like I said, I use pipe cleaners to tie them and then hide everything in the back. So that worked out fine. Please consider subscribing, like the video, comment any questions you have down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.